Okay, Eckert, thank you very much. And the screen you're looking at right now, the only difference between this screen this year and last year is number one, it's the 26th of January 2022. But also on our logo, we have added the word worldwide. Within the last year, we have become a worldwide Mac user group, and we have members from all over the world. Okay. Here's an agenda for the meeting. I'll just go by this page rather quickly. You will hear from each and every one of our board members during the meeting. First of all, I'd like to thank all of the board members who served on the board in 2021. And I also would like to thank our class instructors from last year, from 2021, who was Marilyn Von Sergen, Jeff Bohr, Jim Corsica, Dan Wozniak, Joe Kissel, and Jeff Carlson. Those were our class instructors last year. Our meeting presenters, which were made up of some of our meetings were done by our own members: Cheetah Hunter, Mitch Bryers, Bob Kennedy, Marty Dorio, Jim Corsica, Jeff Bohr, Dennis DeGiacomo, Eckert, Wayne Mertz, Ed Evans, Mike Kozniak, Alan Weinstein, Dale Steven, Joe Grillo, and David McGuire. And we thank each and every one of you for your presentation last year. I'd like to thank a couple of people who were not on the board, but who were very helpful to the board during the year, which was Marty Dorio and Wayne Mertz. And also the nominating committee, which helps nominate the officers: Bill Nice, Scott Silver, and Mitch Bryers. That's from last year. And we also had a lot of help when we started out the groups, IO, the message board. We had a person who had to leave the group for health reasons and was also on the board, Sandy Dickerson. And she was of great help while she was with us. And we hope she's doing well today. And our website designer, all the way from England, Jenna Cox, and I think Mike will talk a little bit about her when he makes his presentation. And we also want to really thank Linda Farabee, who is now involved in MailChimp and the notices that go out for all the classes and all the meetings. I'm going to give you the results of the election that took place this January. Normally, this would be given by the current secretary, which is Marcia, and Marcia is flying around to the Keys in Florida with her husband today, and she could not attend this meeting. The election, the 2022 Naples Mug election, we used Constant Contact for, and the voting was the following. There were 542 eligible voters. We had a unbelievable turnout for voting. We had 470 members that voted, or 88%. There were a couple bounces and no unsubscribes. We needed a 30% quorum. We well exceeded that. And the candidates that were re-elected were Ed Evans and Don Peacock. Congratulations. And again, thanks to the nominating committee, which was Bill Nice. This year, the nominating committee was Bill Nice, Betty Larson, and Jim Corsica. I would like now to introduce the board members for 2022. First of all, I'm sure everybody knows me, the president. I'm the guy that finds the Wednesday meeting speakers. I primarily try to concentrate on the marketing of the group. Also, next is our vice president, Eckert Gotti, which is has many hats. Class registrar, basically runs the total administration of the club, hosts all the meetings, is greatly involved in marketing, and has been the guy that really saved this group from demise during the COVID infection, and was pushing like crazy that we would pursue Zoom. We had already been on Zoom, and Eckert had used it in his family for years and years and years. He has family all over the world, and he encouraged us to pursue it. And in the beginning, it was a major problem to deal with. It was hard to train ourselves and our group to deal with it. We had some security issues. We had, meeting problems, but we got over them all. And we have been able to, we have never missed a single meeting because of COVID. We went immediately to Zoom, and we never missed a beat. Our treasurer continues to be Don Peacock, and this has become a monstrous job this year. It's not only managing a few bucks from dues and classes, but now our membership is way up. So our dues are way up. Our class involvement by the members is way up. We have a payroll because we do pay our instructors, and we now pay our weekly meeting presenters. And so Don has to deal with all of this. So the treasurer's job, which was not a great deal of work, has become a monstrous job. And we'll talk about, we need some assistance almost in every one of these areas. Mary Condon-Rohr is our secretary. She took over Marcia's job. Marcia just left the board. And she's also very involved in administrative work and backs all of us up and helps us all out with many administrative functions, and also is in charge of the MailChimp and all the notices that go out to all of our people. Ed Evans is the director of FileMaker Pro. The FileMaker Pro is an application that runs our entire group in the background, and it is absolutely positively critical to our existence. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the meeting, because we're going to need some support in that area also, because we have to assume that each and every one of us at some point might disappear off the face of the earth. And we would love to have, be prepared with replacements. Director of software technology, the person that put all these great classes together this year, which are getting unbelievable results. And the meeting moderator, Sheeta, has brought to the party the ability to moderate our meetings. If you talk to the outside world, and if you talk to all of the new members that we have gained in the last year, many of them joined because of our great class and weekly meeting program. And Sheeta is the one that moderates these meetings, keeps them moving in order, very organized, disciplined, and hopefully everybody gets to ask their questions and so forth, but we need to keep the meetings focused and so forth. And Sheeta has done an outstanding job. And that's sort of what puts us on the map.
George, may I interrupt for just a brief second? I would like our board members to not turn their videos off. The reason is as George talks about you individually, I would like to spotlight you so that the entire audience can see the person George is talking about. And so Shida, if you could kindly turn your video on, and I think the next person will be Mike Kozniak, and I don't know, Jerry King as well. If you would keep your videos on, then I can spotlight you, and then everyone can see you as George makes his great comments. Shida, if you, let me see here. Hold on.
I'm here.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, there are still people that are checking in, and
Well, Mary's supposed to be handling that now, I guess.
let me see, but here you are.
We want to see Cheetah.
Oh, here you are, Shida, so I'm sorry for the delay, but I want the audience to see you for a moment. You're going to talk later on anyway, but okay, George, fine, thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
Michael Kozniak, I'd like to introduce Michael now. Michael's been with our board now for probably almost a year and a half. He's the, when Yahoo pulled out of the message board discussion group business, we made a change based on Michael Wozniak's idea. They had utilized it at the Suffolk England group very successfully, and we have switched to Groups.io and the message board, and our message board has never ever been as active and as busy and have as many members as it now does. I think we probably are almost at a point of 700 members on our message board. And again, what began as a, not too difficult of a chore, in the last few days, when we had to, Mike had to enroll like over 100 members in a day. It became quite a monstrous thing to do, but we got through it, and he did a great job. And also, he's the what I would call the webmaster. He maintains the website. Jenna was the designer, but on a daily basis, Mike keeps the website under control and updates it and so forth. And Mike is also the president of the Suffolk Mac User Group. And of course, our previous president, who was president previously for 18 years, Jerry King. Jerry, thanks. Thanks for everything you have done over the years. You built the basic structure, and we've been able to build onto that. And Jerry did a marvelous, fabulous job with his board of directors over the years in putting this group together. And thank you. Okay, that's the board of directors. One of the things that we're so very excited about here at Naples Mug is the fact that we have attracted many members from many Mac user groups around the world. And this has been one of the most thrilling experiences that I have had, and that the board has had, is that we have been able to get Mac users from other Mac user groups to join our group, and not necessarily at all pull out of their groups. We're encouraging them to stay within their local groups, and even some of our members currently belong to some of these groups throughout the world. I know quite a few of our members, I think, have joined Mike's group in Suffolk, and I think we have a few that have joined the Australian group. And we're also very excited that as of any day this week, hopefully today, the Connecticut Mac Connection Group, which has 50 members, has decided that all 50 members will move to the Naples Mac user group and become our members officially, probably today or tomorrow. And all 50 members are joining us. They're basically going to stop their operation. It's very difficult today to do what you try to do to manage these groups when you only have a membership of like 50 members. So in many ways, sometimes it makes sense for some of these groups. And some of these groups that you're looking at here are very, very large. Some are medium sized, and some are very, very small. For example, the Villages Apple user group, from a people standpoint, I think has the largest membership in the world, although I sometimes slip and say that we do. But they're a very large group up in Florida. So anyway, we have all of these members from these groups, and we're just really, really proud of it. Okay, Don, the treasurer, who job has become so critical with everything that's going on. Would you please give the treasurer's report?
I will be happy to do that. The cash flow last year, you can see that our income was $4,400 more than our expenses. So we ended up in the black, which was nice. The figures are all there for dues, classes, but you can see that if we didn't do classes, we would have been in the hole because the operations expenses exceeded our dues income. So the classes are a big benefit to the members, and it's really what keeps the club able to provide what we do. So
You want me to change? If you want me to change, just tell me.
No, not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Anyway, the that shows what we have. The community outreach, we gave $500 to the Naples Library, where we used to hold our meetings. And in addition, some of the operations expenses were we provided to, like Joe Kissel and all those people who have helped us over the years, and we ended up compensating them, making donations to their organizations for because they've been so helpful to us. Okay, you can go to the next one, George. These are the operational expenses. I couldn't get that on the header, but these are what comprises the 16,000 of operations expenses. The main one was for website design and maintenance. We had in previous years hired other people. We spent thousands of dollars on website, and it wasn't until Mike Kozniak introduced us to Jenna, and now we have a wonderful website, and everything has greatly improved. So many thanks to Mike and Jenna. And so that expense for this present year will not be as much, because a lot of that was just setting up the website, which now that it's just running, we don't have that expense. The web services last year were mostly for FileMaker hosting, which is essential, and that is due to many thanks to Marty Dorio and Ed Evans for setting that up and running it. And that's been a wonderful thing. And the other wonderful thing that I must mention is to thank Marty Dorio for setting up that people can pay dues and classes via PayPal instead of checks and cash that we used to be, well, when we met in person. But it works very well. And the next big expense on the web services $455 for Zoom, and roughly another $550 for MailChimp and Groups.io and stuff like that. And the consulting services I mentioned when we donated to some of those people. Let me tell you who it is. Tidbits and Take Control Books and MacMost and Dan's Tutorials, and that was the consulting services. It really was not something that they billed, but it was something that we had the money and we gave it to them. And the weekly meetings and other things, that's what we had. And the classes income again was 12,000. I think maybe is that on the next slide, but anyway, we made money on that. And the budget, George, is that the next slide? Is the budget?
You want the next slide?
Yeah, go ahead. So here is what we plan for this coming year. And the main thing that's larger this year, we expect income from classes to be even greater than the 12,000 that we had last year. And the dues, we've gained so many members, we're going to have a lot more income from dues. So we expect to have income, the software calls everything that comes in as income, but it's really just, accounting wise, it's not income. It's, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, instead of 26,000, we expect to take in over 30,000 this year. And again, our major expense that we've planned for is again to support the people who have helped us, MacMost, Tidbits, Dan's, and Christian Voice, and all of those. So that's the 5,500. And we're paying our weekly meeting presenter and moderator every week. So that'll be $6,300 annual expense. And the MC services is our FileMaker host. Last year we had a larger expense, but now we're on a multi-year contract, so we expect only $1,000. And the other things you can see, they're insignificant. And for classes expense, we're paying the instructors and the moderator. So that would be for our classes, another 7,700. And for ebooks, we've budgeted $1,000 for ebooks. And so that's it. So we expect 9,300 expense for class, and we're estimating taking in 16,000. So that'll be a nice money maker for us. And for community outreach, maybe George can talk about that later. We expect another 500 to the library here in Naples. And then we've allocated 2,000 for board determined support to people who meet our educational mission. So we're going to spend almost all the money that we expect to take in, and we expect to have a little over $1,000 net income, money coming in as opposed to money coming out. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the end, but that's it for the treasurer's report.
Okay, thank you. The only thing that I wanted to make a slight correction is we're not going to give $500 to the library. That $500 is actually going to the Suffolk Mac User Group in England as a donation from our group. They give us a great deal of support. They invite us to, they invite our members to many of their meetings, and we have a great relationship with them. And we feel like we should partake somewhat financially in the running of their group. and we appreciate everything they do for us.
We sure do. Thanks.
Don, you just ask, are there any questions? And they should, our members should wait with their question until the end of your presentation, or do you mean the end of George's presentation?
Whichever you like.
There is one member, Rob Hoffwood, has raised his hand. And Rob, if the question is very pertinent to maybe this slide here, go ahead and ask the question. Otherwise, I would like to encourage our audience to really wait with their questions until the end of our total presentation, because then we have ample room for discussions. But go ahead, Rob.
Hi, thank you very much, Don. Thank you for this. I had a question on the Take Control ebooks. Is it, maybe I missed something. Is that something that members get, or how does that work? I'm familiar with Take Control.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Eckhart might talk about that. Last year, we, as part of people who signed up for one class or the other, got an ebook. I don't know if we're still doing that, but we put it in the budget.
But very quickly, what we do, all classes have one requirement for the instructors to generate handouts that we distribute to our audience, to our registrants in advance, so that they can prepare themselves for each class. In the particular case that caused an expense for Take Control books, the speaker was one of the members of the staff of the Take Control organization. And he didn't have handouts, but he had his excellent book. So we decided to make available to the registrants of that class that particular book. And we got a huge discount for, because we bought 150 books, I believe, to distribute them among our membership. That's the background of that particular thing.
Yeah, actually, I think, Cheetah, you could correct me if I'm right or wrong. I think we have 3 classes this year that we're going to provide the actual book that the presenter wrote, and the class is on to the members that are signed up for the class. So
That is
that's
correct.
the reason. That's
Yes,
the reason.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct. We have 3 classes that we will be providing free with the cost of the class to members who sign up for that class.
Anything else, Don?
No,
Any more
that's it.
questions?
No, thanks.
Is that the end of the question? And we'll hold off to the end? Eckert?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right, let's, Eckert, you might, this is probably one of the most exciting slides of today's meeting, the success of our class program. It's all yours, Eckert.
You see, let me get a spotlight as well, so that you guys can see me and I can see myself. Well, it is really exciting. Way back when we had our classes at the library, not at the library, but at the university and so forth, the audience was really, there was a restriction. We only had 50 seats available, and there was really sometimes a fight, competitive fight, to get admitted to a class. And when people decided to cancel their class, there was always a wait list with people who were happy to jump off the list and join the meeting. Now, all this has changed a couple of years ago when we went to a larger facility in Naples, and so we could accommodate more people. But we, as George had mentioned earlier, George and I really looked at Zoom before Corona, and we saw this tremendous potential that this technology has to really expand our organization in terms of membership, but also we noticed that Zoom can provide outstanding quality in terms of the video and also in terms of the sound, of audio. And we embarked upon that. And so many things, as you all know, have happened now. We have expanded our organization. We are tripling our audience now for the classes. And why is that? because now there is really no restriction on participation, because Zoom allows as many participants as possible. We have decided, because of our growing membership and the growing interest in Apple-related matters, to get the very best instructors available. And all of that has, I think, triggered a tremendous interest within our membership to attend these classes. So when you look at last year, that was a record year. And we counted 959 participants, not, I should say, registrants, because not all registrants participate. Some of them don't have time, and they know that even in advance, and yet they sign up for a class. And why is that? The reason is twofold. They're interested in the handouts that we distribute in advance, and they're even more interested in watching the video recordings that we do. And so that has attracted so many people to sign up for classes. Last year, 959, financial something else. And this year, our projection is over 1,400. So it's a 50% increase over the record year that we had last year. And it also provides us with a substantial income. And as we are a nonprofit organization, it makes our life even easier to attract more instructors, better speakers, and to do all kinds of things to enhance really our own mission and see to it that our audience, our members, get the most out of their membership and get the most out of their joining our weekly meetings. And here we're talking about our class program. So I think the volunteers who try to organize this as best as we can, we're extremely excited. We never really expected that truly. Of course, we had envisioned it, and we're still dreaming. George and I are still dreaming. This is not the end. We believe that there is so much more potential for Naples Mug because of the way we are structured, the way we live, the way we breathe, and we are attracting more and more people. And so you're looking at the projection for the year 2022, and George has not asked me to show you the projection for 2023. We wait until the next annual meeting. But I can only tell all of you, this is absolutely exciting. And when I mention instructors and presenters, I also should mention moderator. We have in Shida an outstanding moderator, and this is a feature that many of our competitors really don't have. They have instructions, they have presentations, but what they're missing is the in-between person that causes the interaction between audience and presenters and instructors. And we have all of that. So we are powerful, we are well organized, we have a group of volunteers that doesn't stop growth projections. So George, that's my comment on the classes.
Okay, I could continue on.
Well,
are you finished with?
Yeah.
Are you done with Zoom?
This is really I covered a lot of that already. Last year at our annual meeting, we really asked the question then, how far have we come with Zoom? And I think it was an interesting question because Zoom a year ago was not as commonplace as it is today. And so we gave a very positive report. But now, when George asked me to give a brief presentation on Zoom, I would like the question, how far will we go and in the future? And if you read what I put down on this slide, I go through it quickly. The quality of meetings and classes has really become professional. The quality of our presenters and instructors is continuously improving because they understand Zoom's great features better. And I should add here in this particular context, our moderator. That I think is a key to our success with our meetings and with our classes. And that's how we differ from competing organization, although there are not too many competing organizations out there. The member participation in our programs, both meeting and classes and the message board, is more active than ever. The audience interaction is outstanding and is really rewarding both for, I think, the audience as well as for the instructors, because they also sometimes learn from questions. The next point, I think, is vital. Our board is really different from most boards. We are not sitting there and we're not trying to advise people. All of our board members are growth-oriented. They are true achievers. They work extremely hard and are totally committed to the mission of Naples-Mug. As a result of all of that, the programs and the board, the conclusion is very simple. Naples-Mug is unique and it is tops. Many other MacFriend user groups struggle with proper and regular programming. Their membership is dwindling. And George, do you want to cover Connecticut, or should I make a quick sentence about that?
Either way, I got it covered too, but go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, we have just been approached within the last 2 weeks from a MUG, a MacFriend user group in Connecticut. They have 50 people, they have an excellent board, and they have a very a membership group that is extremely interested in Apple. But they lack really presenters, and decided because of that, of all of that, they were going to close. Their membership had been dwindling substantially. Now, when they talked to us, we discussed with them that their members should join our organization, all of them, all 50 of their members. And the board made a resolution to transfer those 50 members to Naples-Mug, and this transfer will occur in just a few days. So our membership will expand again, but I believe that is just an example. I feel there are many other groups out there in North America that are similar to Connecticut, in that they have an interested membership, but they don't have the wherewithals to organize meaningful events. And I believe Naples-Mug, with the way we're structured for unlimited growth. We are really ready to absorb those organizations and make those members extremely happy again with the features, with the programs we have. Going forward, I think our growth potential is impressive. Our organization is really, and I repeat myself, truly exciting. And I think also I should say that our constantly and fast-growing membership, our members will enhance the overall awareness and attractiveness of Naples-Mug. So those are my comments. The next one is, there is this potential that I just described of so many people in North America and everywhere in the world really, who are looking for an organization that offers weekly meetings with high quality presentations, a forum where they can exchange problems, like our message board, which also is a forum where we post innovative reports on Apple and Apple devices and applications, and the class program. So there are many people out there who probably would be strong candidates to join our organization, but they may be members already somewhere else, although they are disappointed in the membership. So we decided from time to time to have a membership promotion. We had one in September, and it worked extremely well. And now with our class program, which we think is so excellent and so unique, no other organization is capable of offering such a program. We feel we need to go out and get people to become aware and join. So that's why we developed this promotion. We started at the end of December. It ends at the end of January, really. But what it does, anyone who joins Nmug right now gets a free membership until the end of March. And as only members can register for classes, these people with a new free membership who join us can now register and sign up for classes. Of course, the classes are not free. They are $20 a piece. Now, at the end of March, then these people can decide whether they want to stay with us and renew the membership. Normally, that's done for a year, but they also have the option. There's no financial obligations. They can just decide to quit. But in any event, that's why we have created this this promotion, and I believe we will. Here's the program. I don't know, George, that we need to go all of that. I think people can read that later.
And you pretty much covered most of it already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but again, we have now. We had at the end of December. I'll tell you this. We had on December 31st, we had 598 members. And we come to these numbers later, but I just want to tell you that because it's so exciting. And I knew that George wanted to reach 600. And I was sitting there because I administer the membership, and I looked at 598, and lo and behold, you wouldn't believe it. At the last hours of the last day of last year, we had 2 more members join, and we reached the fantastic number of 600. But here the story doesn't end here. With our newest promotion, all of a sudden we attract more and more people, and then in the last few days we had a large group of people joining us. And last night again, I was watching TV around 10 o'clock, and our number was not 598 as it was at the end of December. It was 698. And I said, I want to go to bed not before we reach 700. And so I looked at another show, went back to my program, and found out that I think at 10 o'clock we had 701. So I sent a brief message to George, just with 701 and an exclamation point. So that's where we are right now. And again, I can only tell you it's exciting to be part of this organization. Thank you.
Thanks, Eckert. Great presentation, exciting information, and it's been a thrilling experience. Ed Evans. Ed Evans is the FileMaker Pro genius. He doesn't like to be called a genius, but I'm sorry I called him that. But he's put together some really interesting information that's available through FileMaker Pro. And can you review some of these numbers, Ed? I'd appreciate it.
See what I can do. I think that you and Eckert have covered it really pretty well. So I guess the table you see on this screen sort of gives you a historical feeling of what's going on and what has gone on for the past 10 years. And you can see that there was a few years where there was some net gains, and you can probably tie a lot of that into historical things happening in Apple and what's gone on there. But last year, at the end of 2020, we were obviously quite happy to see a net gain of 4 after a few heavier losses. And now look, we're talking 228 for 2021. And now from what you just heard from Eckert, there's another 100 on top of that to start off 2022. So those are kind of fun numbers to look at. And so we're looking forward to what's going to be happening in the future. Now, I don't have a historical thing on this, but this is kind of interesting to see where our members are today. I say today, again, this is like a week ago. The numbers have changed drastically in the past week, but where are we? Okay, so roughly 630 members within the United States, and then you can see the other countries that are represented here. And again, that probably we probably added another 2 or 3 countries in the past couple of days that don't show up here. And then as we look around the US, where are we? And logically, we've got a large number in Florida because that's where we are based. But we see the states coming in 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 5 by 5, and some pretty substantial numbers of members in many, many states. I didn't actually count that up, but how many states are covered? Okay, he said from 40 states. 40 states. Okay, we got 10 to go to cover it all. And then there's a whole bunch of countries that can get covered. So that's kind of where we are with that. George also asked me to say, how long do people stay as members? That's kind of interesting also, that we have, as you can see on this chart here, again, this was the end of last year, end of 2021, 601 total members, but 348 of those were all within the past couple of years. But we've got, well, 7 with more than 30 years as members, and then 7 more, 26 to 30, 21 to 25, 7 more. So it shows some pretty good dedication of the membership. I'm sure that those, just those 21 are probably feeling pretty good about what's been happening here in the more recent years. And they'll be happy that they joined in and that they've been participating, and we sure need everybody's participation. And just to underscore what George has said before, just talking about FileMaker Pro, that is our database system. It's a relational database, and it's really a pretty powerful piece of software. And it can do a lot for us. It probably could do more. I'm just one guy, and rather than call myself some of the other things that George put up there on the chart, I'll say I'm the DBA, the database administrator, or the IT department, and we need some more support there. Yeah, it's scary to think if I became unavailable suddenly for whatever reason. I don't have a lot of backup to make sure things keep happening. So yeah, sign up if you want. If you want to get involved in this, let us know, and we'll get you involved to see just how our database is set up and what we have to do to keep it going. So that's about that on there. Yeah, I guess you're done with me for now, right, George?
Right. Thank you very much, Ed. Just make sure you're careful when you cross the street. So
I look both ways.
Anyway, we talked. Eckert covered a little bit of this. We have decided we really needed to develop strong partnerships. Now this has been a 20 or about a 20-year in the making process. It doesn't happen overnight. When I came to the Mac user group about 18 years ago, within a year or two, I became a member of the board, and I took over the program of finding speakers and class instructors for our meetings and our classes. And also, the way it all started is basically I subscribed to every single technology, anything Apple related magazine, website, anything that would feed information to me. I decided to try to get involved with. And in the process, over the years, I have met all these guys. Dan Wozink is Dan's tutorials. Many of you know Dan. He's taught our classes. He's done some of our meetings. He runs a hell of a business. He does great work. And he's got quite a few people that are part of his organization and have joined for all of the great tutorials that Dan has done over the years. Dan became a friend of the Mac user group years and years and years ago. That friendship has developed, and now he's very instrumental in the building of this group. Same with Joe Kissel, Adam Inks from Tidbits, Christian Boyce, who will be our class instructor this Saturday, and our meeting speaker next week. Gary Rosenzweig, who is Mac Most, who you see practically if you're subscribed to Gary, which you should be. He does wonderful tutorials. They come out like daily, and they're great for people that are more advanced, less advanced, or at any level. Jeff Bohr, who's actually a member, and these guys are all members of our group, by the way. We have given memberships to each of these people. We want them involved as much as humanly possible. Jeff Bohr is a technology Apple guy, and so is Dennis in Naples. Jeff Bohr has his own business. He's got, thousands of people here in Naples. He helps with their computer. He's been on our board. He had to come off the board because his business, since COVID and the Apple stores being closed and so forth, Jeff's business is booming, and so is Dennis. Dennis is also a technology Apple guy, and very involved in the community, and has a very large business helping Mac users. Anybody that lives in Naples, pretty much at some point in time, has probably come in contact with both of these fellows. They're major speakers at our meetings. They have taught classes, and they're a great asset. So like I said, over the years, this is how I met these people, is looking for speakers and looking for people, and all of the information I get on a daily basis. And I put most of all of it on the message board. It might drive some of you crazy, but there's about anything you want to know about anything Apple on that message board. And that's how I met these people. And they have become class instructors. And the other thing, in the last year or so, as Eckert and I got extremely aggressive trying to build a membership, we figured, why are we doing all this work for a few hundred people here in Naples, and now we're on Zoom? We might as well blast it out to the entire world. And so they have been very instrumental in getting us new members. I would say of the over 300 new members we have, probably about 180 of them have come through these contacts. This week, for example, between Christian Boyce and Adam Inks, they publicized the fact that we had this membership promotion going on to all of their members and friends and mailing list. And this week alone, I think we've almost got 100 new members. So it's a win-win situation to develop these kind of relationships. And it gives us the speakers and the class instructors and the knowledge to run this group that we really need. Okay, let's see here. The future growth for the future growth here is, and I wasn't sure about this 5 or 6 years ago, but the sky is the limit. There is absolutely no limit as to what we can grow. For example, we started in 2021 with 390 members. At the end of 21, actually, the goal my goal and the goal of the board was to get about 500 members, and everybody thought I was totally insane. And last year, through both of our promotions, we were able to achieve the number, as Eckert stated, of 600. In January, early January, I said, we need a goal, and I like round numbers. I don't like, 800, 900. So I said, we ought to be able to get to 1,000. Again, I didn't really know exactly how we were going to get there, but I just felt the momentum was building. We were getting new members almost on a daily basis when we weren't running a promotion. I mean, every day of the week, we wake up, go to our computer, and there'd be a new member or two that would come through, and from all over the world and all over the United States, Canada. So anyway, the goal is 1,000 members. In the last 24 hours, I have become convinced that that number will be exceeded, because in the last 24 hours or 48 hours, I think we got over 100 new members through Adam Inc. and Christian Voice. So now we're, as of this morning, when I was working on finalizing this presentation, we had 705 members. So it appears there's a great need. There's a lot of people out there that want to be a member of a group that's alive and aggressive and has lots of meetings and sends lots of information out to their people. And what we're doing, it seems to be attractive to people from all over the world. And it's very exciting. Recruiting members, like I said, instead of having 400 recruiters now, we have 705. And we are now aggressively, our members are aggressively pursuing their friends, family, and neighbors and clubs and whatever they belong to, and getting the word out. Because when the promotion stops, the membership still continues to grow, and that's because of word of mouth. So I would say at least half of our membership this next year will come from word of mouth. And now instead of having 400 mouths, we have 705 and growing. And the partnerships, like I said, the partnerships that we have built with those 6 guys that I just showed you a few minutes ago, those partnerships are really working as far as recruiting for our membership. Other Mac Apple user groups, like Eckert just mentioned, the Connecticut group came out of the woodwork and sent us an email, and they said, we're thinking about closing down, but we want our members to be active and find a home for them. And so as of this week, we'll probably gain another 50 members from that group. And there are lots and lots of groups out there that have 25 to 50 members that might begin to do exactly the same thing. We would encourage them, and even groups that have one meeting. Most groups have one meeting a month, except for the Villages, which has quite a few meetings up in Florida. But most groups around the world have one meeting a month and really don't have a class program. And so their members want to be more involved. And so they join us and they stay with their existing group because they still like to attend meetings locally. We also belong, about half of our board members go to a meeting on a monthly basis, and it's the Apple World User Group University. And I have found out in the last couple months that there are 600 user groups out there in the world, 600. We are communicating through this group with only about 25 of them. And we have gotten quite a few memberships through the affiliation that we have with this group, but we're only communicating, like I said, with 25. somehow, some way, within the next year, we're going to figure out how we can get our hands on the list and the contacts of the other 580 groups, because they're out there. And we're not going to, we're not going to sleep until we figure that one out. As I said before, I'm the guy that plans, with the help now of and the help has really happened in the last couple of years. Sheeta's been a great help. Ed comes along with some great ideas and some great speaker names periodically, and so do our members. And I would encourage any of you that are out there that have an idea or know of a person from your previous group or from your previous relationship, or an author of an article you read. I mean, I just basically, if I read an article that I like, that I think is of interest, I try to find out who the author is. Somehow I find out their email address. I try to contact them. In about 75% of the cases, they do not respond. In 25%, they do respond. And that's how I've come up with the meeting presenters over the years. It's a very time-consuming process. And then you've got to contact them and set up the meeting and get Sheeta and Eckert, they work with them and with Zoom and the whole managing the meeting routine. And it's a real process that goes into setting up all of these meetings and classes. It just doesn't happen overnight. It's a real time consuming process. I happen to really enjoy the whole thing. I take it on as a challenge. It ties into all the messages I send to the message board, and it seems to work, and I enjoy doing it. But anyway, our schedule, we have basically I schedule almost a year and a half in advance at all times. And you can imagine the communication that's necessary with these people, the changes that have to be made because of illness or sickness or whatever the issues are, or they forgot, or they had, the kids get sick or something goes wrong. So this is like a changing thing every day of the week, but it's fun, it's exciting, and I thrive on some of that. Okay, Sheeta, it's all yours. The educational program.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Whoops, Eckert, can I get permission, please?
So I'm going to stop sharing for right now.
I still don't have permission. Yeah, got it. All right. All right, that usual question. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, whoever said that. All right, so to discuss the classes and what we're doing, the idea is to educate our members. There's a lot going on in the Apple world, and we want to help our membership know what's going on. So that's really the basis of our classes, to get you guys informed. We have 10 classes total. They cover a wide variety of information. And oops, let me click this. And some of you have, hold on. There we go. And some of you have already attended some of our classes. Our first class was Dan Wozniak in Zoom and FaceTime. We had an excellent start to our class season. Dan is an excellent instructor, and we got a lot of new knowledge on the new features of FaceTime and new features of Zoom. The second class was Jeff Bohr. Jeff Bohr did an excellent class on Monterey and getting us informed on the new features, what we can do with our system. It's always a quandary of what's new, what can we do when we have a new Mac update. So Jeff is just excellent in getting this information to you. And I want to thank all of you who attended my Pages class. I had such a wonderful reception. And to date, I hold the record for the most people attending the class. So thank you. It was a very informative Pages class, and I showed you what you had no idea you could do with Pages. Our next class will be Christian Boyce, and Christian is going to go over the iPhone 13, the features of iPhone 13, but he is primarily going to go over iOS 15 to show you all of the features, all of the new features that are in iOS 15. And whether you have an iPhone 13 all the way down to an iPhone 6S, I believe, you can benefit from attending this class. So please do. Hope to see you there. Our next class, which we will give away our first Take Control book, will be taught by Josh Centers. And Josh is going to go over just briefly the new models of iPad and which one you might prefer to purchase. And he's going to go over the features of iOS 15, new features and some features that may be causing you problems and some that you possibly didn't know about. And again, the Take Control books come with a class. There's no extra cost for that. Our next class after that will be yours truly again, and I will be going over Apple Watch, the features in Apple Watch that pertain to fitness, health, and accessibility. And this is one class that I really wanted to teach because there is a lot of good features in the Apple Watch that can really help you, especially if you have, and we all right now should have fall detection turned on. Fall detection can save your life. So please attend this class. Let's break some more records. Our next class after that will be author Joe Kissel, who's going to go over iCloud Drive and iCloud Plus. We will also be giving away Joe's Take Control book for that class. Joe Kissel is just a prolific author for Macworld and all kinds of topics. So please join us with Joe. Then we have James Corsica. James going to go over entertainment, streaming, and podcasts. This is a very entertaining and informative class. You're going to learn things about these particular focuses that you really, if you're doing entertainment streaming, which we all are because we've been held captive for a while, you're really going to enjoy. We look forward to Jim's class. Our next class after that, Apple Photos. Dan is coming back and he's going to brush us up on new features of Apple Photos and take you through some of the features you probably didn't know were there. And Jeff is coming back with security and protection. This is one of our favorite classes. Jeff will give you some amazing information that you need to safeguard your privacy on your Mac. And then we have a surprise class. We have a bonus class for members. Can I talk about this, George?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So for all members, you don't have to have signed up for a class previously. All members will be able to attend this class. This class is being taught by Kirk McElwin. And if you want to learn more about Kirk, McElhern, sorry, Kirk. If you want to know more about Kirk, go to kirkville.com. We will also be giving away Kirk's Take Control book on media, macOS media apps. So this is a class that I am very excited to have presented to you because nobody goes over this information. You haven't seen it anywhere. Kirk delves into it because Kirk lives it every single day. So please sign up for this class when it's offered. It's free. You don't have to have signed up for previous classes. So thank you. All right, back to you. Or do I go next as well?
I'm not looking at my slides.
All right, I'm next again. All right, so,
Okay.
All right, so here with the annual meeting, one of the things that I want to let you guys know is that what we try to do here, we try to have consistency. in how we present things. We want you to be able to know that the information that you get is from us. So one of the things, there you go. One of the things that I try to do is branding consistency for our Q&A and for our classes, so that you know that you're in the right place, you get familiar, and that it is a quality and professional experience that you have when you come to our meetings and when you come to our classes. I work with the Q&A for the Wednesday meeting, and I work to standardize all of the slide presentations for the class. So someone has already commented on how great they think that those slide decks look that come from our instructors. It's because we want you to feel like, hey, you are with a professional organization, which you are. We want you to be pleased with what you see. And also with the Zoom meetings, I work with Eckert and we work with the presenters to make sure that we don't have a bad experience. You know, some things happen, but Eckert and I talk with the presenters. We go through their setup. We let them know about you guys and if you might be asking questions or what you expect. And we do everything that we can to bring you the best possible class and meeting experience. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And I think that the fact that our membership is growing is representative of that. And I want to thank you for attending the meetings and thank you for attending our classes. All right, all yours.
Thank you. Okay. Mike Kozniak, it's your turn now. He's going to cover groups and the website.
Thank you very much, George. I'll just need to share my screen if I may. Thanks, Eckhart.
Sure.
Right. It suddenly occurred to me a short while ago, this feels like the Golden Globes. We just need Ricky Gervais present telling a few rude jokes, and you get me. Hello. I'd like really just to aim this at the many new members that have joined us today. I've looked down the list and there are many names that I recognise signing up to our message board through the last very busy 12 hours. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at what the message board looks like online. Now, you don't actually need to access this page in order to ask a question. You can simply direct an email to naplesmug@groups.io. I'll show you where you can find all of this information in just a moment. But we opened this message board about 18 months ago, I think. And we presently have, the last time I looked, around 650 participating members, which is absolutely fantastic. If you ever hit a problem with your Apple equipment, if you ever hit a problem with your Apple software, and it doesn't matter how simple the problem is, it doesn't matter how complex the problem is, hopefully among our 650 members there'll be somebody who will know exactly what you need to do to sort out your issues. So this is the place to come. And just a quick look at the messages tab. So here are all of the messages, and these come in sometimes several a day. Sometimes we have very quiet days, sometimes we have very, very busy days. But most questions do get answered. So as I said, if you're a beginner, don't feel remotely embarrassed about asking what you consider to be a really simple question. Somebody, I think I may have been a member of our Suffolk group, I don't know, but somebody said, I feel really stupid. I feel so sort of, unprepared and stupid. And one of our board members said, there is no such thing as a stupid question. If you don't know the answer, It's a question. There's no such thing as stupid. So do use it. It's a fantastic facility. It's open 24/7 for everybody to make good use of. I wanted to single out, if I may, 4 people. There may be others, and I apologise hugely if there are others, but 4 names of very, very active members on our message board, and that's Richard Cox. He calls himself Rooty when you see posts from him, but Richard Cox, Peter Emery, Bob Hale, and Lawrence Decker, who have done a huge amount of work to help our members in recent weeks and months. And gentlemen, a big thank you for that. Now, if you want to learn more about the message board, the best place to go is our website. I hope that everybody listening at the moment, watching at the moment, has visited our website. I would love at this point to introduce Jenna, who I can see has been spotlighted. And I'll ask her just to say hello in just a moment. But Jenna developed a site for us in Suffolk, and which worked absolutely brilliantly. And it was the easiest thing in the world to recommend her services to Nmug when they were looking for somebody to rebuild a website. I love what she's done. The Nmug website basically should answer any questions that you have about our organisation. And if I just whip through the various tabs very quickly, you can see that we can answer questions about membership if you're thinking about joining, and also about renewals and update details should you need them. Under the meetings tab, we spotlight an important upcoming speaker. And down here, there's a dynamic calendar that has information about absolutely all meetings. So if you don't know what's happening next week, this is the go-to place. The next tab is for classes. And once again, as well as introducing all of the speakers, you can find all the information that you need about upcoming classes. And up at the top of the page, you can register for classes just here. Now, the next one is the message board tab. And as I said, if you're unfamiliar with the concept of message boards and how they work, this is a great place to start. I've prepared a little 8-minute video, which gives you all the information that you need, which you can watch by clicking on this link. We also have 3 very easy to follow PDFs that you can download, which will talk you through the process of how our message board works. But don't let any of that put you off, because the most important thing is, if you have a question and you want to ask it on the message board, all you need to do is address it to naplesmug@groups.io. All of that and a ton of other useful information can be found on this page. Finally, there's a little bit of history about the group, where it started, how it started, who set it up, what's happened since. And then the final tab is a Get in Touch tab. And I really wanted to draw your attention to this, because when anybody posts on this particular page of the website, the reply comes to me. And many members have used this for some really odd purposes. And when I say odd, I mean purposes like saying, I can't access today's meeting because I can't find the Zoom link. And the trouble is, if I'm attending a meeting, as I am at this moment, I can't be answering emails. So be aware that this really is designed for people who want information about the group and joining the group. But if you need immediate attention, it's best to make sure that you have somebody like George's email address, or more importantly, Eckhart's email address, because he, of course, would be able to get you into a meeting if you were unable to find that all-important Zoom link. Presently, if somebody writes to me, I then have to forward the email to Eckhart in order to get them into meetings. So, you know, it would be a much quicker route. That's it. Please allow me to introduce Jenna and just let Jenna have an opportunity to say hello. All
Do I
yours.
have to do anything?
Oh, you can say hello.
Hello. No, I mean, do I have to push any buttons? I know
No.
you're
We
a
can
web
see you
designer,
and
but
hear
I'm
you.
hopeless at this. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for your very kind words. I'm delighted that everybody seems to like the site. It really was, but I like challenges. And in the end, I'm delighted that I've made some friends. I've learned an awful lot, and I hope I was able to give something of real value to this group because it's an amazing group. And for their trust in me. I tend to work differently than other web designers. I think they'll all agree with that. I design sites for dummies like me. I want to go to a site and I want to be able to see what I need to do and find things instantly, and for it to be visually appealing to keep my interest. So all of that, plus the marketing thought that needs to go into it, plus the actual functioning of the site is important. And I, again, just thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Jenna. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks very much, Jenna.
Y'all done, Mike?
I am. Yes, all yours, George. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on quickly because I want to, make sure we leave some time for questions and answers. Ed, do we need to review this? Or
Well,
what do you
I
think?
hope not. I hope
Okay.
not. We sort of spelled it out, and the idea is it is pretty simple, and it was some tricky stuff we had to do with FileMaker to get this working properly. And with Jenna's help, we made it happen. So basically, when you click on one of these links that are referred to here, you are actually temporarily signing yourself up to become a user of our FileMaker Pro database so that you can register for a class or to update your profiles. And then at the end, you just close your current browser window or tab, and you're back to where you started from. But these words kind of cover it, and I think it's covered elsewhere. So that's all I need to say, I think. So thanks, George.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Mary, do you have anything you want to say? Mary?
Yes, I just wanted to let everybody know that we use a mass mailing service, MailChimp. It allows us to send out to all 700 members our meeting notifications, our class notifications. And as new members join, we update that list. And as people through attrition leave, we have to update the list. So it takes some doing. It also allows us to design interesting notifications. And we have a wonderful member from Texas who's joined us at George mentioned that he wanted to thank her, Linda Farabee. She's been a great help in design. She's expert at layout and design work. So when you admire some of our meeting notifications and class notifications, you can send your compliments to Linda. Also, I'm going to be secretary now, so I guess I'm going to be helping with the election next year, and I'm going to be keeping records of our board meetings. So that's my function. Those are my functions on the board. That's all.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, I just wanted to review the fact that we do need some support from the group. Like Ed mentioned, we need some help with FileMaker, and I know we have some members with FileMaker experience. Some of them we have identified already, and if anybody else is out there with FileMaker Pro experience, if you could contact myself or Ed, we'd appreciate it. Eckert, with the onslaught of all of the new members and what goes on with Zoom and some of the work that has to take place, we need some administrative support in that area. Also, the class registrar process needs some support. Mary, we're always looking for people that are interested in the MailChimp notices or anything. If you're interested in anything secretarial or note-taking or anything of that nature, Mary can always use some help. Don, with all of the processes that he now has to do that we didn't have to do many years ago, we need some support in that area. The message board, Mike is going to be on they take a holiday over in England where everybody goes someplace and nobody works, I guess, in the entire country for a week or two. We don't experience that here in the US because we're nuts, but they do have that in many of the foreign countries in the world. And so we're going to need some help periodically with the message board when Mike's not around. The board member, I'm really having a dream that one day we need a full-time board member that can recruit worldwide for our group. We need a person that can get out there and get in touch with the other 580 Mac user groups that we are not in touch with. There is a way to get that to happen. It'll be a very time-consuming process, but there is a way. There's a way to find out about every Mac user group in the world, and we need a lot of help in that area. And I see that someday as a board member who could just concentrate 100% of their time on recruiting. Speaker recruitment. One day, you know, I might wear out. Something could happen. We need somebody who really would love to do that job, and let me know who you are. I'm sure the phone will be ringing off the hook, but make sure you let me know who you are as soon as possible. Also, there are other administrative things that go on in the president's world that we need help with. And the message board, I would love to have some other members besides myself, and some of you do, be sending this critical information to the message board on anything new articles, new things that are happening and so forth, because I have no problem backing off of some of that, but I would love to have other members jump in and start doing it, and we'll figure out who can do what and so forth, so we can spread out that mission of keeping all that information flow into the message board. Anyway, the next issue is going to be the free class, which we already took care of. The surprise, it's absolutely 100% free. Oop. And I don't know what I just did. Hold on a second here. Anyway, we talked about that. And so now we get to, anybody have a, oh yes, here's one screen. All you have to do for the bonus class, all you have to do is send an email to Eckert. His email address is on every single class notification or every single meeting notification. Just send him an email, type into the subject area bonus class, and he'll get you signed up for the bonus class. We expect this year that we probably should have about 300 members sign up for that class. And we need to know who you are, because we need to make sure we order enough of the Take Control books. Because everyone that gets one, there's the cost of them. We want to make sure we get one for everyone.
And can I make a comment? Can I make a
Sure.
comment that if you want to register for the bonus class, please do not wait to the last minute because we do have to order these books. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you very, very much for attending. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. First of all, this was fantastic. Number one, will Eckert send us confirmation of the sign up? I assume yes.
Of course, yes.
Yes, thank you. The other thing is, with this MailChimp, we get a lot of emails. I do. I've signed up for every course, but I get a lot of emails from the marketing department reminding me that I can sign up. And I didn't know in the future if you could sort of just send it to people who haven't signed up, etc. It's just a thought.
If you could help us, by the way, that's an area that you could really help us if you could figure out how to do that in a quick way. What you're asking to be done is, I'm not sure we can do, but we know we know we're sending out too many emails. The reason I send them out, to be honest with you, is the more I send, the more signups we get, and the more interest we get, and so we keep sending them out. Also, someday, maybe in our lifetime, everybody would begin to use our website because actually all information is on the website. And so remember, if actually you can unsubscribe yourself from MailChimp, and you'll probably get 99% of that information if you go to the website. So there's, and we do have members that do unsubscribe themselves, but if it really drives you crazy with the emails, our feelings will not be hurt, but we just want to make sure you keep in touch with the group and go to the website. Now, we've been asking that for years, and we find that for some reason, the notices bring in the people and sign up for the class and the meetings. And so we continue to send out the notices. But if you could,
That's
George, there are several questions.
okay.
Jim, Greg Purdom, and the person that only has a phone number or something, he doesn't have a name. It starts with 832. Who is that person? We'd like to know you. Somebody raised his hand, and there's no name. It says 832-0828-3986. Who is that person? If it wasn't, then I lower that person's hand. I'm sorry. Jim, you have a question? Jim Corsica?
Yes, I may have missed it. What is the date of the bonus class?
It's the 19th of March.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg Purdom has a question.
Yes. Are the slides from this meeting going to be available either on the website or through the group's IO?
Yes.
You used to have them on the website in the old days, but they haven't been.
Yeah, I'll make the slides from this meeting available, and there'll also be a video of the meeting that'll be available to everybody.
George, can I just pop in there? Can I just point out that there is a link to all of the old meetings. There is a link on the meetings page of the website. So if you're not sure where to go to look for old meetings, go to the meetings page, the meetings tab of our website, and you'll see a link there that will take you to the YouTube channel.
Okay, as a follow-up, can you add chaptering to the video from today so we can jump to the different slide areas or different topic areas? You're familiar with chaptering?
Absolutely, positively, but I'm very sorry to say that I will be unable to do that. I just absolutely do not have the time. If anybody really would be interested in, I try to edit the movie to some degree, but to put chapters and so forth would probably take me an extra, so many hours.
I would volunteer to help you with that.
Okay,
I
great.
would furnish you the times if you would add them in.
And that's Greg, right?
Greg, yes.
Yes.
Okay, that would be great, Greg.
All right, it's 1:03.
Anybody else? No more questions? Eckert?
I
Everybody
have
done?
another question.
Okay.
Would you add to the website a list of the tasks for the officers? So when we have some requests, we know who to contact. You know, like Mike mentioned, you know, contacting Eckert for things about getting into the Zoom and that sort of thing.
We all have Eckhart's email address because we all receive post from him. But
Yeah,
I
but I'm talking about in general. That was example.
Yeah. But
Other things.
The only issue, of course, is that we can't put email addresses on to the site. Allow me to talk with Jenna about that, because there can't be any visible email addresses, of course, because that would open the floodgates for spammers.
How about just blind links?
Yeah.
We'll discuss that. That's
Yes.
something that we will have to
Mike,
discuss internally.
Mike
Please,
and I
that-
can talk
Okay,
about that
thank you.
too.
Yes. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. Can we please end this meeting?
No, well, you have to, actually, we need the board to hang around
Okay.
for an extra 5 minutes. We have to have
Okay.
a quick vote. Thank you very
Right.
much for
Great.
attending, and have a great day. And we really appreciate everyone that came today.
Thanks. It was a
Thanks.
wonderful
Thank you,
meeting.
everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Thank you.
Thank you all
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenna.
Great meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Thanks a lot, Jenna.
All right.
My pleasure, and thank you.
Thanks to
Bye.
everyone. It was a fantastic meeting.
All right. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Natalie. Thank you.
Thanks to Marty, if you're still
Oh.
here.
I don't
Is he here?
have
Was he here?
Mhm.
I don't have
Don
permission to
was-
do that. Can you make me a co-host so I can remove these people from the meeting, Eckert?
Sure.
Thank you.
I can start from the top and you start from the bottom.
That's what I'm doing. I'm at the bottom.
Okay, I start at the bottom then.
You're leaving the board members on.
Yep.
Can we make it one vote, Eckert?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ed, Don, Mary, George, Eckert, and me. And I want to say that it is dangerous to allow Greg Burnham to ask more than one question. It is, because he tries to put forth his agenda. And I think that the answer to some of his questions should always be, we will discuss this internally, and not to try to give him a direct answer while
Good
we're in a
point.
meeting. Yeah.
Good point.
Who is he?
All
We
right.
didn't.
He's
Alan
a pain in the
Weinstein-
ass. He's
George,
Gotta have a couple.
do you have a slide for the next motion or something, or?
No. I just want to make it, let's just do this real fast. First of all, thank you very much for all of your help in this meeting. Much appreciated. And I'm sorry the meeting went over, and we have to actually have a quick election based on the bylaws. We need to re-elect myself, Eckert, the secretary, and the treasurer. So anyway, all those in favor of re-electing those 4 positions, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
All right.
Any nays? All set. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.